both smoke pot. That's jive talk for marijuana.
American kids learn about sex, drugs, and alcohol before they're able to ride a bike without training wheels. But when it comes to the one item protected by the Constitution upon which their country is based, sorry kids, no knowledge for you. If you want to learn about the one item the government can infringe upon, or the item used by generations of soldiers to grant you your freedom and to preserve your freedom, you're on your own. And if you so happen to be one of the millions of American kids who grew up in a household without a gun, chances are slim that the school that you go to has a course that teaches you anything about firearms education. But I can guarantee you that before you hit kindergarten, the entertainment industry has already shown you an unsafe, unrealistic, ultraviolet caricature of the real thing. So you grow up without learning the basic rules of firearm safety. You never experience how seriously the gun community takes safety. You never learn how a gun works or why certain guns look the way they do. And you never learn how to disarm a firearm should you find yourself in a situation where you need to. Instead, you remain perfectly ignorant, so that as soon as you begin paying attention to politics, opportunistic anti-gun politicians can begin taking advantage of your carefully constructed misperceptions by offering so-called common sense gun safety measures that, of course, have nothing to do with gun safety and are anything but common sense. And together, you attack the world's problems like a school of fish that tries to ban air. The story I just described is my story. That is until a gun-owning friend of mine took me shooting for the first time and destroyed my ignorance forever.
Think back to who you were 6 years ago. You didn't go from that person to who you are today through one defining experience. Life is a succession of little changes, just a bit here, a bit there. That's my story anyway. But one day fate knocked me a bit harder than usual. My buddy Osa took me to shoot my first gun. I won't say my life changed in that moment, but nothing was the same after that.
I think I remember the first time I actually showed you my gun, and you were afraid to even touch it.
I was like, no, I'm good.
I'm like, it's not gonna bite you. Yeah.
You were there when all this started. Like the very first, you were there for the first shot.
Yeah.
And
I remember it scared the shit out of you.
It did. I remember I was like, whoa. Okay. Yeah. And I thought I did something wrong.
Yeah, you're like, this is not the movies.
So when we got in the parking lot, I was cool. Right? And then when we got in the building, I was decent.
Yeah.
But then somebody opened the door, and then I can hear the pop, 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 pop. And I kind of jumped a little bit, and I was like, I don't know what I just got myself into, but I'm stuck. Now look at how the tables have turned.
After the first week, we went to the gun range, and I think I called you. You were like, oh, I'm at a gun show. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, he was just afraid of guns like a week ago.
Getting back together with Osa was exactly what I'd hoped for. He took me back to when I was the wide-eyed, terrified kid, and then the obsessive nerd desperately seeking out every experience the gun world could possibly offer me. He introduced me to guns without pretensions or preconceived notions. He didn't tell me why I had to own a gun or why I had to believe this or that. He let me come to my own conclusions, and I'm forever grateful for that.
I really do appreciate you at least taking the time out to kind of talk to me about it and just challenging me, challenging my perspective and, you.
Well, then I'd like to ask for something in return.
Go ahead.
I want you to take me to the gun range.
I've
never been.
Really?
And I feel like it's not fair for me to have these opinions, and I've never done it.
I know we can make that happen.
Deal?
That's a deal. And you know what I'm gonna promise you?
Oh, God.
I'm gonna bring my stockpile of weapons.
Jesus. Oh, God. I'm gonna drop it on my foot.
You're not gonna drop it on your
I am.
No, you're not.
So you've gotten to know my friend Jamish over the course of this season. She probably frustrated you and reminded you of other misinformed anti-gunners that have crossed your path. But I look at her and I see myself 6 years ago. Before Osa put a gun in my hand, it changed everything. I've been talking about my views and why I think the way that I do. But like me 6 years ago, Jamish won't fully understand until I show her. So that's what I'm gonna do.
So,
After our little back and forth that we had about guns and gun control and things like that, now we're out here at the range. We're in my territory, more or less. And after we had our little discussion, you talked a bit. You're like, okay, you're a little interested in. Is curiosity a better way of saying it?
Yeah, and also I don't think that you can rule out something that you've never done.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So right now, with all of the guns on the table, right? How are you feeling right now?
I am freaked out. Like, I'm trying to remember when the last time it was I've ever felt this nervous.
Now, I can actually empathize with that because the very first time I went to shoot, I was nervous as hell.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not nervous, I was scared. And the weird thing is I'm watching you out here, and you have the different shots going off in the background, and you're kind of jumpy.
I didn't think you noticed that.
Yeah, I did. But the thing about it was when I first went to the range, I was the same way. But after a while, you do get used to it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start you off with a lower caliber handgun. A lot of how much recoil that you feel from a gun is depending on the size.
Yeah.
Which most people think. So if I were to ask you right now, if you had to pick a gun right here that seems the least intimidating, which gun would it be?
I'm going for the little joint.
Which one? That little one?
Or actually, maybe this one.
That one or this one?
Yeah, maybe this one.
Okay, so this is what they call the Nano, right?
Yeah.
Beretta Nano. It's a 9mm. So this gun and the gun we're about to shoot, this one, shoot the same round.
Okay.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start off shooting this gun first. I want you to get used to hearing the sound of the gun going off in a closer proximity than what you're hearing out there, okay? So I'm gonna go up to the 10-yard mark and I'm gonna shoot at those still targets. Good. Okay, so how are you feeling now?
That was way more than 5.
It was, but I'm a little trigger happy. So one thing you're gonna learn about me, when I start shooting, it's hard for me to stop.
I see
just
that.
because I enjoy it that much.
I'm fine. I honestly, like, it's that nervousness where I'm like, I just want to do it so I can kind of
That's fair enough.
go over the hump.
Okay. I'm literally just going to hand the gun off to you.
Sure.
And remember what I told you before about keeping
off.
your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot, and all the rules that we taught you before off camera.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make this hot. All right. So now the gun is loaded. Okay, it's ready to go. So at this point, when I hand it to you, all you have to do is pull the trigger.
Okay.
All right, so remember what I told you before. So right hand grips the gun.
Okay.
All right, now watch. Okay.
I don't like it.
You're good, you're good. All right,
Okay.
watch your finger. You see how you have that natural tendency
Yeah.
once you put the finger on the trigger?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we teach
Here.
indexing it on the
Sorry,
side.
did I
And remember I
freak
told
you
you,
out?
after a while, it'll start to become automatic.
Sure.
Okay, so then what's your most comfortable stance? So remember, always keep that pointed downrange.
Okay.
So whatever
this
your
way,
most
like, right
comfortable
here?
stance. So it's widen your base just a little bit, as if you were playing a sport. And then you actually want to lean forward just a tad.
Okay.
All right, so now find your target, center that white dot,
Yeah.
and then just pull the trigger.
Ah!
Now, finger off the trigger, finger off the trigger. All right. You want to do it again?
Oh, no, not really.
All right, hold it. All right.
Okay.
Sorry, index your finger on the side.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. There you go. There you go. There you go. So now, let's decompress. Let's decompress.
My heart is beating so
It
fast.
should though. It should
It's
though.
not.
But see, you got to think about it. This is not normal to you. This
No,
is
it's
not
not.
something that you've experienced before. So I don't expect you to come out here and just say, "Yeah, I'm having a great time." I told you my first time shooting was overwhelming. You know, so everything you're feeling right now is exactly what it should. Like, this isn't a toy.
Yeah.
You know, so it's something. This is something that is very powerful. Now that you shot the gun for the very first time, what were your thoughts?
It was very scary. It was still scary.
Yeah.
It's a lot of power. Like, you can feel it. Like, the first time when it recoiled, even like after the first time, I'm still like kind of adjusting to how much it pops back.
Yeah.
So it's like, that freaked me out as much as like shooting it.
Here's the thing, though. All of what you said makes perfect sense. The reason why is because I don't want to go so far as saying it's abnormal, but you got to think about, this is a mini explosion going off in your
Yeah.
hand, right? So it's not something you're used to, something that you've ever done before. So it's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be intense.
We've already discussed I'm a bit of a control freak. Like, I feel like I don't have as much control over it as I would like. So maybe that's something that comes with practice or whatever the case may be.
But like, I mean, because in the same way I'm a control freak that you're a control freak. I'm the same way. The things that scare us, that are irrational, we want to actually conquer them, right? Which is why I think you're even out here.
Exactly.
Because I know you don't really want to be out here, but you're out of here because it gives you a certain level of control.
Exactly.
All right. So that was a 9mm full-size handgun. Out of all the guns that are on this table, which one is the most intimidating to you?
This one is freaking me out more.
Okay, so why is that?
It's bigger.
Okay.
It's like sitting off the table a little 3D-ish.
Yeah, well, that's a
Jaws
lot of it is
3D
because
here.
of the little knob over here.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's still pretty sizable though.
What about this one? Is
It's
this?
pretty, that one's pretty scary.
Okay.
This one is, I just feel like it's too simple for it to not be some real seriousness. Like,
This is just a shotgun.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
But
I don't like it.
so this is also scary to you.
Yes.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do with this. You're gonna shoot it. So remember the thing I was telling you about 22?
Yeah.
This is a 22.
Okay, that's a little baby bullet. It's cute.
Oh yeah. You're not. Yeah. It's cute.
No, I don't
for,
like
for
that.
all intents
I
and
don't like
purposes.
that.
No, I'm not saying that to scare you in that. No, it's not cute in the sense of it's not a real bullet. That's the thing. It's
no,
just like
it's a real bullet.
Yeah.
But if you can call guns sexy, I can call bullets cute.
You know what? Touche. Touche.
All right, here we go.
All right.
I missed. Did I hit it?
Nope.
I wasn't aiming.
That's why you probably missed it. There you go.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's definitely the aiming.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Yep, and you're out. There you go. So this shoots same round as that handgun, 9mm, right? So here's what I want you to do. I don't want you to think about it. I just want you to take this and shoot it the way you think it should be shot.
Oh, God. All right. What?
What were you about to do just now?
I was about to put it up to my shoulder.
Can't do that, it's illegal. Under federal law, you can't put this thing to your shoulder.
Why would you do that?
But I'll have to ask you the real question. Does that make any sense to you?
No,
Why?
because it just felt comfortable. Like, that's just where.
Makes it easier to shoot the gun, right?
Yeah.
All right, the way you're supposed to shoot this is supposed to stick your hand through here
What?
and hold it up like this.
Oh, that's real Terminator.
Well, how would you
Hasta
prefer to
la
shoot
vista,
it?
baby. With it on my shoulder.
Why?
Because I want the added bulk of me
Makes it
behind.
makes it easier to shoot the gun, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, according to the federal laws, the ATF, we can't have a stock on this gun like this and put it on our shoulder because this barrel is shorter than 16 inches.
Okay, listen. We've already established our federal government doesn't have it all the way right on these gun laws, all right? So this one went for me, the other ones go for you.
Hey.
You give and you take.
All I'm trying to demonstrate to you is you shot a rifle, right? And you understood, and you shot a rifle and you were like, it was easier to shoot, didn't recoil as much. And a lot of the reason why it's easy to shoot is because you can hold it
Sure.
and put it on your shoulder.
Sure.
Clearly, this makes no sense,
It doesn't.
which is part of the points that we were talking about when we were at the table. And that's part of my biggest gripe, is if you encounter somebody who talks about how this makes putting a stock on a gun that has a barrel that's less than 16 inches, which I hardly doubt you'll be having that conversation, but if you do, now you're in a position to understand why that's so silly. Now, I know you don't probably agree with me on all of the other laws that are out there, but at least you're starting to kind of understand and grasp the fact
Sure.
that some of the stuff don't make no damn sense.
Duly noted.
Now, what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna have you shoot the gun that's actually legal.
Okay, perfect.
Okay?
1, 2, 3.
There you go, let's get that target. There you go. There you go. What are your thoughts at this point?
I'm still pretty terrified. I don't think it's something I would ever be comfortable doing.
Regardless of whether or not you're still scared or not, which
Yeah.
you have every right to be and continue to be scared, that's fine. But you can't deny the fact that you know a lot more than you did going in.
Very good job. Kudos to you.
Don't patronize me.
Why? It's so
No,
fun.
but I mean,
No,
it's,
and honestly, I think that, like you said, just the education aspect of it, like to be able, if I ever do happen to catch myself in a conversation, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. And I understand the comforts of it. I appreciate knowing that there are rules around here and that you guys actually follow them. Kudos.
But here's the thing, though, that's crazy about it. A lot of the politicians that advocate for some of the gun control laws that most people just kind of blindly follow. Those politicians don't know half of what you know now.
Oh, well, that's
A
problematic.
lot of them haven't even shot before, and that's kind of the crux of using you and I's conversation is the idea that we can't make laws about something that you don't have any education about.
Agreed.
It's just,
that's why I'm here.
It's unrealistic. You get unrealistic laws, but I know still terrified. I know your heart's pounding right now. You told me it was.
Not terrified.
Yeah.
Just a little shaky, but it's good.
Fair enough. No, it's fair enough.
Honestly, like I'm very apathetic towards it. Like it's not something I necessarily want to do again. I'm not like opposed. I do. If I'm ever in the zombie apocalypse, apparently I'm not too bad of a shot, so I could probably, you know, take out a few zombies if needed.
Just make sure you open your eyes.
They were open. I just have to use the right versus the left.
I enjoyed bringing you out here. I enjoyed being able to show you kind of how things actually are versus how you thought they were in your mind. And like I said, you know, you and I will always probably disagree.
Forever.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Sure.
But I still always enjoy our conversations, even though
No, I'm just kidding.
most of the time, some of the stuff you say is kind of...
Well, that's because you're usually wrong.
Oh, I'm wrong.
Of course you are. You already knew that, though.
Sometimes.
All the time.
Sometimes.
Like 80%?
Here's the problem, though. When I'm wrong, I'm still
You're
right.
super wrong. No,
No, I'm
that's
still right.
totally erroneous.
How so?
You're super wrong right now.